Right, now that I've reached a standstill with the wheels, for the time being at least anyway, I don't have anything I can currently get on with. Next job, I'm going to start stripping bits down off this tractor, bits that are not needed. Obviously with it going to be a dual tractor, if you can just see, these link arms will not be required, so I will take them off because they're just actually going to get in the way. The front of the dumper section is going to slide in there, so they're actually just physically going to be in the way. Also the fact that the lift arm on the second tractor, there is only actually one on that tractor, so one of these will be getting kept. I'm sure, having done this on my Ford 4000 previously, that these pins in here are going to be an absolute pig to get out, so I can't imagine it's going to be a start tonight, finish tonight, but I'll get cracking and we'll see how it goes. Right, well that was a little bit more successful than anticipated. Didn't expect to get that wee thing off there. That'll be getting kept somewhere in a box of bits for further projects, I would imagine, you know what they were like. These arms, as I thought, these pins are absolutely jammed, and as you've seen in the video, I've just taken the bolts out of them. I thought that they were on like splines. I thought these things kind of slid onto splines, and I assumed that that retaining plate was just holding them onto the splines. Obviously you see me giving it a bit of a whack. I'm not sure that I'm right, so I don't want to carry on and damage something. Maybe I already have damaged it, but I don't want to carry on and completely ruin something, because I know that I'm not using these parts, but they'll do somebody something, and I'm a firm believer in keep things just in case, you never know. Like, I probably have a bit of a problem with that, to be fair, but you just never know when you might need it, or not even myself, but if somebody that you know needs one. So I do tend to keep these sort of parts, and tractors like these are getting more and more rare anyway, so it's always good to have bits you can help folk with. So I'll do a wee bit of googling and see if I'm right with what I'm doing, and if so, is there an easy way of doing it, and if not, which is the right way. But the back of the tractor's looking a wee bit better. I'll give you a wee peek there. You can't really see it too well on the screen, but looks a lot more ready just for getting that reversed in, line it all up. I'm still undecided as to what I'm going to do steering wise, because I do actually have the hydraulic pump that came off the dumper that I cut up, and I was contemplating, I've seen them putting the PTO of the front tractor, have the hydraulic pump on that driving the steering for the back tractor. So I'm not sure if that's a route I'm going to go down. There's also like a trailer tipping hydraulic on this, but again, I know there's something funny about the Fergie hydraulics, that trailer thing would probably only activate once the arms go up and that spring diverts it. There's like a diverter valve inside the back end. I know a little, but I don't know everything, and I might have got that wrong, but so that's why I'm a wee bit dubious about using the likes of that hydraulics, because if that's the case and the arms aren't on, it's just a bit of a headache. So I think probably the best way I'll be going is getting a pump, put a PTO shaft onto the pump that came off the old dumper, connect it up to hoses, tanks, get a steering orbital on the back tractor, and then hopefully that'll be me set. But like I say, I don't know, so I just want to keep everything as usable as possible in the meantime. So a wee bit of progress anyway, we're getting there slowly but surely, and that's what this is about. I don't want to rush myself and be like, right, I have to have this, I have to have this done before that. I've done that before a project, and all it does is just end up making it not enjoyable. So I'll just do what I can do, plod along with it, and it's good to have a rough target in mind. Like, we have a road run every September around here, so we're now in November 2025, so if I could have it mobile for September 2026 is the kind of long-term target I'm giving myself. Any earlier than that, fantastic, but if I could have it on that road run next year, I will be absolutely delighted. So we shall see how we go. Right, catch you on the next one. Right, so it seems I was right enough in what I thought. There are splines here, and cleaning this up, you can see where they are and also how rusted on they are. This is going to be a bit of a challenge. That's one side, and then this side doesn't seem so bad, but typically, ideally it would be the side that's got the worst rust on it that I will be transferring onto the other tractor. So we'll see how we go with that. But the bigger hammer doesn't seem to be doing it yet. So I'm going for a different tract, seeing if I can get this pin out of the arm instead. Just to get them out of the way, and then I can concentrate on getting the pin off the splines when I've got a bit more access. But this wee bolt up probably isn't strong enough to be doing this. I think maybe it's some proper burning gear so that I can get proper heat into it, but I'll give it a bash and see what we can do. There we go, heat and dip. Right, that's actually started moving, so I'm going to try and... It's not red hot or probably anything like it, but I'm going to try and get it while it's still hot with the hammer in there. There we go. Brilliant! Well, that worked better than I hoped. You can see it's out over there. I value my fingers too much to go and touch it just now right enough, but that's excellent. So that arm can come off. Now we'll try and do the same over on the other side. Fingers crossed. Remember where I put the bolt arch down. Why did I not do that in the first place? Anyway, right, there we go. So that's both arms off, which is wonderful. Spare adjustable arm. And a proper arm for the other tractor. This pin, you can see the shape of it, it's definitely seen better days. It'll do for holding it on at the moment, but I'll probably replace that. You can see it's worn there. Mad how it just wears in time. This other knuckle one on the other side is hand tight as well. Somebody obviously had these apart not long ago, if that's the case. They obviously didn't have it completely apart. No, that can stay there like that. Okay, good. So we've got 2 arms on the back of the back tractor now, and a mess on this one. That'll be worst case scenario, that can get cut out. These things are a little bit frustrating that they're right. So my battery died there. Sorry. So starting again, but while my phone was charging, I've decided that these arms, which were being an absolute pig, I was looking at thinking, how am I going to get them off, and had the sudden realization that this whole top section is actually not required, because all it does is serve the lift arms, which I wouldn't have. So what I'm going to do is actually completely remove that. I'll get a piece of steel plate and a gasket blank over the top of that. And I actually, when it comes to linking the 2 tractors together further down the line, it'll probably actually work out better not having all this lumpy stuff here. It's something nice smooth to run cables, pipes, whatever I run on top of it. So I'm just going to finish undoing the bolts. I'm going to give the top of it a quick clean, because there's rusty stuff all over it, and the last thing I want is all that cack to fall into the, sorry, cack is a Gaelic word for rubbish. Last thing I want is all that rubbish to fall into the oil in the back end and then contaminate that. So I'll get my brush. I just realised this brush is absolutely full of dried mud too, so this is a brilliant toy as well. I've always been desperate to get one since I've seen them on the go, and you know what it does, but it just does things so much quicker and it's so helpful. I don't crack things open with this. I use my breaker bar and then just rattle them off with this. But if anybody's looking to get one, I would definitely consider one. I also got a wee power stack battery, so it's kind of low profile. Lasts perfectly long for me too. So. To use it as meat. Get spanners, see if we can get this thing off. Oh, yo, yo. Job that was. Blinking heck. So this angle definitely be getting emptied. Make sure that we've got all the bits that we need out. Pretty pleased to have done that because there's an amount of crud in the back end that would not be good. So it was a bit more difficult than I anticipated doing all that stuff, but let me show you this. Got all that crud that's been gathering in, getting into the diff. The rest of it looks all nice and shiny, but like I said, that oil actually looks pretty decent in there. But I will empty that because, as you saw, some parts of nuts and bolts and split pins fell in there. So it was one thing I would have liked to have not had to do, but I'm not going to risk the whole tractor leaving that stuff in it because all it would take would be one split pin to block an oil port and then we'd be goosed. So I'm trying to slowly but surely learn to be patient, and I know that probably wasn't the best visual representation of it in that wee bit I just did, but I'm happy. And then that bit there is obviously what was stopping it coming out, but not quite sure how that will come out yet, but don't really want to split that and take it, but I don't know, we'll figure it out, we'll get there. Right, I'm off.